I bought a used Tesla Model Y, and today I'm going to be reviewing it for you guys. My 1 month review of having this car. It's been some ups, been some downs, but let's talk about it. So if I haven't mentioned before, I bought this car from a used car dealer in my local shop, and it was a steal. I got it for about $26,000, and for a Model Y at 2021 with that amount of miles, that was a pretty good deal. I kept seeing a whole bunch of like Model 3s and stuff like that, but I figured since I have kids, I'd go with the Model Y just because it's a little bit more big. But just like any other car, this car isn't perfect. It does have its cons. Now, I'm not going to call it a con, but it's just something that is a little bit takes getting used to, and that's charging. I do feel like I have to charge quite often. I always have to leave my car plugged in. But like I said, I don't really consider it a con because I'd rather be consistently charging and not having to stop at a gas station than obviously stopping at a gas station. My second thing that I would say is the suspension on this car. It is really horrible, if I'm being honest. Like, for the costs of this car, and let's just say a brand new one, they need to make sure it rides pretty smooth, because you feel every bump when you're riding, and it's not comfortable. It makes a lot of noise, and it makes me feel like there's something wrong. But I know they did update that on the new Model Y, so you'll have a much smoother ride on the Juniper. But with the previous models, I don't know why they didn't focus on the suspension. It just I feel like it just makes sense. Now, I also dislike the full self-driving. I know a lot of people are a huge fan of it, but personally, I don't like it. I had a situation where I was driving, and in the middle of the stoplight, when it hit green, it just stopped, and it was broad daylight out. So I'm not sure why it did that. There could have been an update to fix it, but that's all it took for me to see, to know that I don't need that. I don't like the fact that it just randomly stopped in the middle of the road when there was no cars around, there wasn't anything. It was just me. It was broad daylight, and why did it just randomly stop? So I do not like the self-driving at all. I'm sorry. I don't think it's worth it for the cost. Maybe if you want to try it out for $100, but if it comes included in your car, then maybe that's fine. But if you are paying for it, personally, I don't suggest it. Okay, and another thing that I want to give you, this is kind of like a tip, I'm not going to call it a con, is Sentry mode, all right? If you are parked at home and you have Sentry mode on, it is going to drain your battery because it is recording at all times. So you definitely want to make sure when you get home that that is turned off. Now, I understand if you're in a public place and you're parked somewhere having it on, no problem, definitely understand that. But when you are at home, I suggest, in my opinion, to turn that off so you can save your battery. Another thing that I don't like the setup, and I'm not sure why they didn't put it on the outside, but is the USB ports in the car. Now, if you don't know, your USB ports are behind this thing here, and I just had this thing installed so I can have my USB ports right here. I have two here, and then obviously I have my retractable cords. I suggest getting something like that installed because it just makes it a little bit easier when trying to plug in your devices. I don't like having to open this thing up, plug my cord in, and then having a cord just kind of hanging out. I just feel like it looks a little crazy. So definitely probably pick one of these up just because I feel like it really helps a lot when charging your devices. So that's pretty much it for the stuff I don't like. Let's talk about what I do like. Love the look of this car. I think it just looks really solid, especially with the black wheels on the white. It just kind of looks like a Panda. Wait, maybe a Panda isn't. Like, you get what I mean. Another thing I really love is the screen. The screen is really big, and that helps because I am blind. So I love that. I did have to put a glass screen shield on it to protect it. I don't know from what, but just in case, you never know. You always want to protect the screen. But other than that, I really like it. I love the fact that everything is right here. Now, it did take some getting used to, but it didn't take too much time because I love technology. But one other thing I really love is the entertainment that they have on here. There's Netflix, there's YouTube, there's Hulu on there. So when you're at a charging station, you definitely can watch some stuff. There's also a really fun game that me and my daughter like to play, and that's the Beach Buggy Racing 2. So when we're at the station and you have the kids with you, this app or this game is really, really fun. Like, we enjoy playing that game a lot. We haven't really messed with any of the other games like that, but there are other games on there that you can play as well. Also within the screen, we're just going to keep it all in the screen. My daughter loves this, being able to customize the colors of the car. So that's really cool. They also have like a solid, a metallic, a matte, everything like that. So it's really, really cool. But we're going to go back to white because that's what my daughter changed it to. She'll be upset with me if I don't. So yeah, I really, really like that. I think it looks really good. I think it adds something unique to the car. So definitely enjoy that. There is another cool feature on here that is the tracks where you can make beats and stuff like that. For all my beat makers out there, if you want to make a beat from your car, it's really nice. And then last, the light show. The light show is something unique you can do to kind of show off the car, show people what the Tesla can do on a fun level. Now, I know I said I didn't like full self-driving, but I do like the autopilot. Autopilot for me makes more sense. I was never the person to use cruise control, but I do like the autopilot. I like it because it kind of gives you a break from having your hand holding the wheel when you're on a long trip. And my hands like to cramp up. I don't know if that's arthritis or I'm just getting old at the age of 33, but just not having to hold that steering wheel the entire time on a long trip is very, very great. I love that feature. I won't lie about that. Now on to technology. Tesla does a really great job at updating their app, and they just added the Apple Watch feature so you can do controls from your watch, which is amazing. I love that I can pop my frunk or my trunk and just get everything open. I can start my car, which I guess I don't need to start my car, but I can unlock my car. And it's just really cool. Like, it's the small things that Tesla does that makes this a good car, in my personal opinion. Now, I know there are some Tesla haters out there that just hate the Tesla car, and we're not talking politics, and we're not talking about your personal beefs toward the person running the company. I get it. But I'm just talking about the car itself, the type of cool features that you get with the car. And if you love technology, this is one of those cars that just stand out when it comes to that stuff. It is affordable for what you get. It has the speed, and it all in all is a good car. Nothing that I personally can complain about that upsets me about having the car, besides people kind of just like, it's like almost people hate you for having it. It's so weird. Other than that, I'm a fan. I love the car. I have no complaints. Would I buy another Tesla? Absolutely. The Cybertruck is the only thing I would honestly look at. I don't care for any of the other vehicles. But other than that, I mean, that's it. What are you guys' thoughts on the Tesla? Are you thinking about getting one? And if you do, are you going to get one used or brand new? Personally, I would say get a used one, just because you can still get the tax credits as long as it's under $24,999. You can still get a tax credit off, I think like $4,500. So that's probably what I would do if you're trying to try the Tesla out to see if it fits for you. Once again, if you do not have a way to charge at home, don't get a Tesla. I'm sorry. It's just not worth it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. I get it. You want to get a part of the Tesla train. But if you don't have that, I don't think it's worth it. So let me know what you guys think. If you're going to pick one up, let me know. I do have a link in my description box where you can get $1,000 off. Scoofy here. Subscribe to the channel. Invite your friends and family. And I'm out.